Next up, coming to the stage, we've got Her Power Space, Miss Michelle Talbert.
Where on our block, we knew the kitchen, right, where you needed to be to get that fish plate down here, my pecan salad, right? We knew the kitchen to be in to fix up our kitchen, AKA frizzy edges, right? And we knew where the candy lady lived. Anybody else feel me on that?
Yes.
Anybody else know that feeling, right? We didn't have words for them back then, but they were side hustlers. That's what we call folks today, right? And over 40% of Americans have a side hustle. And over 50% of them, please let me go in the right direction. Over 50% of them make less than $500 a month. Now you may be thinking, that's fine, it's $500 extra, right? But it's not extra dollars. Over 71% of Americans need their side hustle and aren't sure that if it went away, that they would be able to make their bills. So what's required to help with this problem? And that's a space where you can incubate solopreneurs, side hustlers, to have the resources that they need to be able to sustain their businesses, scale, and grow if they so choose. Hi, my name is Michelle Talbert. I am a recovering corporate attorney. I am the founder of, yeah, I know, right? Here we go. I am the founder of Her Power Space. We are a woman forward, men welcoming, co-working space located here in Lauderhill, Broward County, USA. And we are Broward County's first Black woman-owned co-working space. I opened the space January 2020. A space to come together in January 2020. Such a great idea. We are still here. The work is gone. The experts told me that we would be gone in 6 months because I do not require a recurring monthly payment. So when the pandemic hit and all the other places closed because people said, we are staying home, why are we paying you $200 and $300 a month? They were coming to our space. They were getting the business mailing address services that they need to be legitimate, to qualify for funding, right? To have a street address, to expand their reach with marketing. And they have space. They have places to meet. Muriel said I could share her picture as long as we didn't get too many people to register so she'd lose her office. Okay. So our revenue model, let me go back to it really quickly, right? So we have almost 200 monthly members who get their mail at our space. And then we have a la carte pay-as-you-go services where people can get offices, conference room, and the like. And I went the wrong direction. I say the bricks are the building, but the mortar are the people, and we're still here because of our people. Having a business mailing address gets you credibility. Having a business address gets you access to capital, and within 12 to 18 months of being with Her Power Space for just a mailing address, 4% of our folks have gone on. I'm sorry, I get really emotional because they said we failed, we did it. And 4% of our people have their own leases right now. And one of our community members is pitching tonight. We matter, we make a difference. You can't discount solopreneurs and side hustlers because we need the money, right? When I opened, 2 weeks after I opened this space, I was at an event like this. I stood at the front of the room and I introduced myself. And the man was like, hey, I'm on your Google page. It says you're closed. I said, I know because I'm standing here talking to you. That's the reality of trying to make it work. So if I am the recipient of your money, we're gonna fire me so I can come out and tell more of our story so we can scale, have the operations and the systems in place that we need. Thank you all for
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. She's running off. Nope, not so fast. Judges.
Is there any impact to your business from a growth perspective when it comes to liability? So 65% of your revenue comes from folks using you as a mailing address
Correct.
Resource. So as things for them get more complicated, perhaps important documents coming through, bank statements, credit card statements, important documents for these businesses, I'm curious to know, what do you do to protect that security, right? So if I'm in your network, how do I know that my mail's not being looked through, or does that come, when you think about scale, let's say next month you have 300 400 folks, how do you protect yourself?
Sure. Actually, our space is always man or woman. So we always have staff on site. People don't access us. We hand them their mail. And so it's really important to us that we have security. We also have scanning services that are available, and so we use certain secure portals to transmit that information.
And how many people do you employ today? And how many jobs would be created if you were a recipient of this grant?
2, because we're going to put that money together with Career Source Broward, which enables us to have both an intern and also an employee to come in at least 2 days a week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Participation in a building, it's the 4 walls, right, so that doesn't change. So how, in one location, how are you, there's only so many clients that you can have, is it limited to that, or does it eventually get to a point where you cannot grow there anymore, or can you explain that a little, how you can grow?
Absolutely. So there's a question of capacity, right? So mailing address services ends up being almost an unlimited capacity in that regard, as long as we have the storage and people come up and pick up their mail. The best failure that I've had is that I actually opened the second location in August of last year, and actually negotiated a rent-free lease revenue share with dedicated office spaces, because that was the demand that we were seeing. However, that location was autonomous, and so that made it a lot more difficult. So we had the capacity, but people really felt more comfortable being in a space with people around and having the services and the concierge on site. And so to answer your question about capacity, we have 2 years left on our lease. If we can continue to scale, we can hopefully continue to grow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay, so my question is, how are you advertising? How are you getting, the outreach out
Sure.
so that people can know that you're around?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if our last slide isn't up there anymore. We actually rank in the top 3 on Google. If you search anywhere for co-working spaces or virtual office or virtual address, we come up in the 3-pack right after all the ads. So that's one of our biggest drivers. We have a really big online presence, both in social media, which is kind of where I started before I got the brick and mortar. Another reason we stayed open was because we knew how to pivot, because it was just going back to the online presence. So we really have a nationwide community of 2,000 folks, in addition to the folks who are served.
And you're located in
Lauderhill.
In Lauderhill.
Yeah.
What's your hours?
Our hours are noon to 4. I closed early today. I put up a sign in the window to say, hey, everybody knew we got an email that went out. But our hours are 12 to 4 on Mondays, 12 to 6, Tuesday to Friday, 24/7, all other times by reservation. So people can book the space. We've had podcasters in the space at 2 a.m. and we have concierges on call as well. So I'm the only full-time employee.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Her Power Space, Michelle Talbot.
Yourself, know you're very important. Hashtag, I'm a big deal. VIP, me and my friend, them a VIP. VIP. Ask anybody, boy. I'm a big deal. Me and my friend, them a big deal. Yeah, we're kinda important. For real. Oh yeah, I'm a big deal. And my friends are some big deals. Very, very, very important.